Okay, okay, okay. So this says I'm live. Hopefully that is true. I'm just going to chill here for a second, I think, and try to set up as people are coming in. I just hope that everybody can hear okay. Yeah? Okay. Sure. I have my toner mic plugged in. Let me just see. Da-da. I don't know if this is connected to okay, I'm live on my phone. I don't know if this is connected to the mic or to the computer mic, and if it isn't, I apologize. I'm going to try to talk over whatever noise might be happening in the background. But yeah, hi. Okay, so we are live. We are in my office with all of my stuff uh just just hanging out here, all the fun plushies and stuff. So I just wanted to hop on and say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. That is crazy. I had this as a goal for this year to hit 1,000 subscribers, and it's been my goal for a very long time. I've been doing this for a while, but a lot of my content just didn't really gain any traction until now, and I'm super appreciative for it. So just like thank you guys so much for that. I my plan for this stream, for this live stream, is actually to one, eat a donut and just like chit chat, and then two, talk about some stuff that I'm like implementing for the channel in terms of like memberships and stuff, which again you don't have to do if you don't want to. I just thought it might be an interesting option for this channel, as especially as it pertains to like future live streams or future content that I decided to make. So yeah, let's get that out of the way. Let's do the fun stuff first. Let's do the fun part first. So yes, dun, 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 I have this. Oh, is leaking. I have this blueberry donut thing situation happening right now. It is filled with the blueberry cream. I have a candle. I lit it for the thumbnail, but I'm going to relight it here for the effect, even though it's like not necessarily a birthday situation. And I found this in our kitchen because like these are old birthday candles. Ooh, that we used to use. But I don't know if you can see on here, like the flame is supposed to match the candle. Can you see that? Where it's like kind of blue-ish. Whoa, crazy. Okay, so I'm just gonna like pretend like it's a birthday type situation, I guess, and like blow out the candle. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay. Yeah, I kind of have like a blueberry theme going on here. I decided to do like really fun eyeshadow for the first time in forever. I have my blueberry or purplish bluish candle and my blueberry donut, and I also have my favorite mug, which is like blueberries. It's like a Polish one. It's like blueberries and blueberry flowers, and I have milk in it. Does anybody else drink milk with like donuts or desserts in general? Because I definitely do, and my husband thinks that I'm a weirdo for that, for like drinking straight up milk, which is like ironic because his whole family like runs a dairy farm, and and like they drink milk from the udder like straight up. So I don't know why he's judging me for that. But anywho's, let's see how good this is. Mm. Oh my god. You see that? Dang, I'm making a mess. But yeah, this is so good. Oh my god. Hmm. Yeah, it was funny because when I was picking up my donut today, I live near this place, this like little donut place, and they're really cute. But like they completely rebranded this year. I'm not sure why. Hopefully, it's like a good thing, you know. But like in the past, it was decorated with like all this kind of like anime stuff, and it had, you can tell like it had art on the front window and inside the building from like an artist like that actually painted it, you know. But now they have this like redesign where they're like basically inside and outside is all white, and they still have their good donuts and their good like coffee and stuff there. but part of me feels kind of like it's like a little gentrification-y because I don't know, it just feels so muted down compared to what it used to be. And there's like this picture of this random guy in the back. So I don't know if he like bought it and decided to change the branding or what, but the donut's still good. Making a mess. Also, I'm gonna try this chat feature real quick because again, this is like my first live stream, so I'm kind of like experimenting with things on my end. So I'm just like testing out the chat feature real quick. I know I can also like do polls and stuff. Like maybe send an emoji. Okay, cool. So yeah. Do you guys see the Kutiefly plush in the background? You see him? It's inverted for me. Sorry if I look like a dingling doing that. But yeah, we have the Kutiefly plush in the background too. If you don't know, I talked about it in my last video when we went to Fan Expo, and I bought that for the channel because this channel is called Kutiefly, and that's like my original idea for a mascot is this like this little guy. So that's why they're there. But yeah, anywho's, I just wanted to talk also about this idea of like memberships. And again, like I just want to emphasize it's not necessary at all. I'm going to continue to keep making like content. My next video idea that I'm actually going to record maybe tomorrow. Sorry. Also, I should preface the reason why I don't do lives is because I cough a lot. And it's because I got diagnosed with like asthmatic symptoms. So if I cough during live streams, I am so sorry. I literally have problems breathing. So that's why like a lot of my videos are edited, or I don't do like off the cuff shorts or anything like that. It's like I'm so self-conscious about coughing all the time because I do cough when I'm like filming a video, and it's like kind of distracting and embarrassing. So I have my inhaler here just in case I need it, but hopefully I won't. Anywho, what are we talking about? Oh, right. So I was talking about like now that I've hit this subscriber goal, I have the option to do like memberships and stuff. And initially I was like kind of on the fence about it because I was like, well, I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. But then I kind of realized, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, then I kind of realized there's something that I've been wanting to do that I think would be good for like people if they wanted to like I don't know, have more live streams with me and like kind of making it like a good productive use of time for myself and them. So like, I have like a basic level of membership and I literally picked the cheapest option available in case people are interested in that. And I'm calling that like pollen puffs. And okay, the name is cute. At least I think it's cute because not Cutiefly, but it's Evolution Rabombi. That's like its signature move is a pollen puff. And I was like, oh, even though that one can't learn it, I'm like, okay, well that's still cute. So I'm gonna still incorporate that. So like the cheapest option, the lowest membership that are gonna be called pollen puffs. And basically, if you decide to do that, you get a couple different perks. One of them is like a little loyalty badge next to your name. So when you interact with my channel or something like that, you'll have like a little logo, and that logo will change depending on how long you've been a member. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that if you watch other YouTubers as well. They tend to like have that. Right now, I just have like the custom icon that YouTube promotes to people. That's what I'm going to do now. But in the future, I would love to have custom artwork for that. And I'm exploring ideas of what to do for that. I thought about using the art that's in my book, like as logos. Hang on, let me show you guys. So my short story collection. Whoa, here it is. In between the stories or at the heading for the short stories, I have like a drawing that my husband did. And I was thinking about using them as like markers for, hang on, let me find one. Markers for like the memberships. So let me see. Ooh, if this line is good. You see that? So it's like a little doodle like that. That might not be the most like effective one. Let me try to find another one. There's a Furby one in here. That tends to be. Oh, here's one that's like the ooh girl e-girl headphones. I think the Furby one people like the most. Let me find it. Yeah, for odd bodies. You see that? Oh wait, everything's will turn around. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking about using these as like membership logos. And in case y'all are interested for that, for like the icon at the end of your name. Okay, great. Something else that you can do is for this basic level of membership is like emojis and chats. So if I do decide to keep doing live streams or things like that, and I think you can use them in comments too, although I'm not 100% sure. I only know that because I follow other YouTubers and sometimes I see them have custom emojis in their comments. So again, if you decide to do the basic level of membership thing, that you will get an opportunity to use custom emojis. Right now, I put in 3. And like to be honest, they're just like cursed images of myself. like pictures of me that could be like memeified in a way, I guess, or like whatever. So one of them I like programmed, like if you write out the word tea, it's going to show a picture of me sipping tea in a robe that like I posted a long time ago. It's very sassy, so I thought it was cute. Hang on, let me take a bite. Okay. So yeah, that's the tea one. But there's 2 more. There's one that's like if you write gross, like there's this like really like non-flattering picture of me kind of looking at you with disapproval, like you. There's one for that. And then I think if you write crying, there's really a picture, like a zoomed in picture of my face where I was like crying that I posted on social media like a couple years ago when I met Mona Awad, and I literally cried in front of her, embarrassed myself. That's the crying emoji that I was thinking about using. Hang on, I gotta refresh. So yeah, so that's fun. I want to do more of those. I don't know if I should stick to like the unflattering pictures of myself. I'll see if other people think they're funny. If other people don't think they're funny, then I won't use them. Excuse me. I won't use them. But if they are, I'm kind of copying this YouTuber called Tyranitor Tube. Like he uses pictures of himself as emojis that are really, I think are really funny. So I'm kind of copying him in that way, or at least that was like my idea. But yeah, so you have that. Okay, what did I say? The icon, the emojis. Oh, end of video shout outs. So my plan for my little pollen puffs moving forward is putting like a little thank you page on screen at the end of my videos. Again, Reads with Rachel does this. She calls them, I think, like her therapy bill friends or something, which is cute. But yeah, mine would be pollen puffs, and I would just like put your name, like your username or whatever, in like a little end screen picture at the end of my videos moving forward if you decided to do that. Again, not necessary at all. It's just if you want certain perks, we can go into that. I've contemplated making members only videos, but I don't really know what specific content you guys might enjoy. Maybe I'll just do like the normal writing stuff up front and then do like personal videos for members, because honestly, like I like making vlogs and stuff when I travel or do things, but they don't do as well as like my writing content. So maybe that's something I save for members who like actually give a shit about me. I guess I don't know. That's like sounds very like weird to say, but I don't know. So I could do that, or we can come up with some other mechanism for that. But again, I don't have those sorts of videos planned just yet. I might make another tier or change like the description of those members and then do that. Okay. Now, the reason that I wanted to do this membership program in general, I'll get into that. Let me take another bite. I feel like I'm like egging you guys on, but like literally I have a donut here and I don't want it to like go to waste. You know what I mean? Okay. That is delicious. I'm so excited. I have a lemon one too that I'll probably eat later. But right now we're doing the blueberry one. Okay. So get into it, there is a second tier of membership. It was a little bit more expensive than the first one. But I kind of wanted to be like a more private thing. So that was like my rationale behind that, called Writing Buddies. So for my Writing Buddies, if you decide to join that way, you will get like all the perks that I just listed for the Pollen Puffs, right? But then you'll get access to like member only live streams. And those I want to like do as like a co-working, co-writing type space. I've noticed that for a while, other than like my gossip drama videos that I kind of do about like the writing community and stuff, those always do well because again, people love drama and controversy and what's it called? Like the short and feud. I think that's how you say it, like where you feel good because you watch somebody else mess up. That's the thing. It's like a German word and we don't have it in English, but I think that's what it's called. But yeah, so it's that everything of a doll. Those aren't necessarily my favorite videos to make, but I still make them occasionally if I feel like there's like a lesson that other authors can learn from like whatever is happening or whatever event there is. But anyway, so those drama videos will still exist. But I've noticed like secondary to that, a lot of my videos that people tend to engage with are like writing advice or writing tips or like lessons for authors and things like that. So I'm hoping that this Writing Buddies tier can be an extension of that. And it can be something where we do a live stream together. We're co-working. I could be working on something and you guys could be working on something. And every now and then, maybe we can ask each other questions. We can utilize the chat feature, or if it gets to it, if you guys want like personalized feedback or like questions to things, that way I can better communicate that to you and it feels a little bit more personal and less generic than being like, oh, you guys need to like kill your darlings and like edit this way, which is like, yeah, generic advice, right? But maybe if people have more tailored questions to like their stuff or more tailored questions for me personally, like as an indie author who's been doing stuff for like a couple years now, maybe that could be helpful. I don't know. That's kind of like what I was thinking that would be. So it is more of kind of like a writing group. Um, I don't necessarily mean for it to be a thing where like we send each other manuscripts because again, that's like a lot of time investment. And I don't know how many people are going to actually sign up for that type of membership, you know? I hopefully lots of people, and then we can kind of just form our own community that way and have kind of like this digital writers group. That would be awesome. But for now, I think maybe it's just going to operate more of like a co-working type space. I know there's other channels that do that already where they live stream and do co-working stuff. Like I said, live streaming isn't super comfortable for me just yet. I'm sure you guys can tell that right now, like with this pacing of this live, like, excuse me. Like I originally intended for this live to be like an hour and we're like 20 minutes in and I've given you already like the bulk of information of that I wanted to give you. So there's that. Yeah, hang on. But yeah, anyway, writers buddies. I think too, like those writing sessions ideally would be helpful if it starts off and it's just like one person or whatever. Obviously, like them and I will have really personalized conversations and direct conversations, and we can really work together on things. But it might also be a good opportunity for people who already are familiar with like my work to get kind of like a behind the scenes sort of peek about how I work as a writer, or like maybe the things I'm trying to decide for my next project, or maybe you guys just like learn more about my next project in general, like because I don't really talk about my personal projects on my channel like that. If you follow me on Instagram, you're more likely to get like word counts or like cryptic teasers and stuff like that about my work, but still nothing concrete. So this would be a way for me too to see if like you're a reader that's super passionate about what I do, then you guys would get a lot of the behind the scenes stuff of like me banging my head against the wall because I'm trying to like make a scene work, or me feeling like excited when I have like an epiphany or something and like getting my natural reaction to things. And I want you guys to have that experience for yourself too, right? Like I want you guys to have oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I want you guys to have like those celebratory moments in a community where you feel invested in, because maybe you worked through a problem that's been bugging you for a long time, but maybe it's hard because you don't have any other critique partners around you. And then you feel good about it. Or even if you just want like an accountability buddy, right? That's kind of like why I named it Writers Buddies, because it's also like an accountability thing. So I know for myself, when I was starting out, it helped for me to post word counts, because in that way it felt like I was holding myself accountable to make sure that I was actually writing frequently. I'm somebody who writes every day, but I understand that not everybody can do that every day. But like whatever your schedule looks like, as long as you're being consistent, like that's a good thing. So for me, like posting those word counts is a way to keep myself accountable, to be like, okay, I have to actually finish this project. You know what I mean? But now I feel like if this is another way to do that, right? So like if you're not comfortable posting your word counts on your own like social media stuff, because you don't want to have a social media presence, because a lot of people don't, and I totally understand that. If you want something that feels a little bit more intimate and private, you can have like a group chat like mine. It's essentially kind of like a group chat where we meet hopefully weekly. I plan on doing this weekly, maybe bi-weekly, and there's like a live stream that we all are in. And you know, I can start the live stream as like, okay, like minutes, I guess, like, oh, what did we work on last time? Is there any specific concerns people have? Or are there any things that we want to talk about right away? Or do we just want to chill and like coexist in the same space and write? You know what I mean? Also, like, not to sound weird, because I don't want this to feel weird or be weird, right? But since it is like a membership thing, there is like a certain financial investment you have being in this sort of group. And sometimes when people make a financial investment to something, they're more likely to stick with it. I'm just speaking from my own experience. Like my husband and I are two different people, right? If I have a gym membership, I'm going to try to make the most out of it because I'm spending money on it. Like I'm a Cancer, right? So, and a Taurus moon. So if that tells you anything, I'm not a cheapskate, but like I don't play about money. And so like if I'm spending on money on something, I want to get the most out of it, which is what I would want you guys to feel as well, right? So that's why I'm offering this, because okay, this is again accountability thing. If you put money towards something and you're asking for people's expertise, you're more likely to probably work on your own work. You don't have to listen to me. Like I'm just one opinion, you know what I mean, in a sea of a lot. But if you have that financial investment, you're more likely to like, I don't know, take someone's advice, or like be like, okay, set aside time every Sunday, Monday, whatever, to work with a stranger on the internet or whoever, and kind of hold each other accountable, right? Again, I write every day, so this isn't necessarily something I'm using for myself, but this is something that I want to help other writers with. So that's what my idea was for the writing buddies. I'm going to try to put a poll in the chat right now, actually. How do I do that? Ooh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask what day works for live streams. And again, you don't have to like, I'm just going to put writing buddies here. And again, if this is something that people would be interested in outside of memberships, we can talk about that too. But I just thought that this was good. That way also it's an accountability for me to get better at live streams, if that makes sense. Like if I tell myself, okay, like this is going to be a way for myself to potentially earn money, like it sounds so weird, but like then I would be more investment to actually live stream like every week with you guys. You know what I mean? Because right now, like I am kind of adverse to that. Like this is a very new experience for me in general. And I hope I'm doing okay. Like I hope this isn't like boring for you guys, you know, but it's an accountability for you and I, right? Like we're receiving the same emotional investment through this program. So that's why I thought it was kind of good. So I'm just gonna ask Sunday. Oh, girl, Monday. how do I Wednesday. Oh, I can't do more than 4. Okay, then let me think for reals about this. Okay. I'm gonna take Monday off of here because that's normally like my social media days. I don't want to do Friday. Let me put Thursday. Yeah. This is out of order. I apologize if that's confusing, but let's do these days because they're the most realistic. Because like Fridays and Saturdays, I feel like people go out and explore the world and like actually have a life. So let's not do that. Sorry. Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays, I don't think would be good for most people. And then Mondays, that's when I normally film like my regular YouTube videos. And so I don't want to get too busy. So I'm gonna put these days. I'm gonna start that poll. I saw someone have a question, but right now it's being blocked by the poll loading screen. So once that goes away, I'll answer it. Are you thinking of making vlogs and reading the book as part of it? I think that would suit you very well. What do you mean by that? Okay, thank you for commenting and asking a question, first of all, and reading the book as part of it. Do you mean like what, like my current work in progress, or like something like retrospective, like some of the books I've already published? Because I think that would be really engaging to make vlogs and read chapters as they're being worked on. I can see how that would be like really interesting for readers, and I think there's some channels that kind of do that where they make like writing vlogs and talk about like where they're currently at, like, oh, I'm rewriting my first chapter and these are the issues I'm going through, blah blah blah. But I haven't seen people necessarily read the work directly. Do you guys think that would be something that would be like potentially helpful, like as people who are also interested in writing? Because if that's the case, then I don't mind making vlogs like that. And that might be interesting as like a membership only video, or I could just do that as like part of the channel as well and make that like a reoccurring thing. Now that I'm kind of like at this point of 1,000 subscribers, like, and I kind of want to take this channel a little bit more seriously, I think like maybe that could be something where like, because I was thinking about uploading more frequently, but like doing that also takes time out of my writing schedule. So that's the only like trade-off, right? Is if I upload more, I won't be able to write as frequently. But that could always just be like an adjustment type of thing. So if I was uploading videos like say twice a week instead, which I think other people do, I could do writing vlogs or writing update vlogs with my work in progress, and then like talk about that, like reading some of the stuff I'm working on, like maybe some quotes or passages or something. And then that way that could be for everybody, right? That's not necessarily something that's like gate kept behind a paywall, you know? But yeah, I don't know, because I feel like if I just like be honest, like I feel like if I just read like my old books, then that's kind of gives off like commercial vibes. I don't know. Like, hang on. Excuse me. Yeah, because doesn't that feel like a little promotional, like to you guys? Like if I just read like, I don't know, sections out of like Curse Images, right? Like my first one, that's like my most popular book. I don't know how that like would work, because I could read like sections of it to try and entice you to, I guess, like check it out. But that still feels a little bit more like better suited for like a short as like a promo thing. And I don't know if that would be helpful as like someone who's actively writing. So maybe, yeah, maybe the actively writing vlogs where I read stuff I'm working on, maybe better suited to that. And I think, oh, excuse me, embarrassing. I'm just thinking out loud too. So if I seem like I'm rambling, it's just because my brain is moving faster than my mouth. But I think too, that is also better suited for like a novel versus like a short story collection. Because I feel like with short stories, when you read excerpts of like short stories that you're working on, that could give more stuff away, I guess. than like if you're working on a novel, and because the segments you would read aren't necessarily like 30% of the story. You know what I mean? I am funny enough that like we're talking about this, but I am working on novels again. I'm very excited to do that. I am, in terms of my own schedule, I want to make another version of Cursed Images. I am more than halfway there in terms of my first draft. Excuse me. Again, I don't need the inhaler just yet, but it's on standby because it feels like it. But yeah, I'm probably like 65% of the way through with my first draft of this new Cursed Images, and that's going to be a more 90s themed anthology, and it's basically like, in my head, Nickelodeon meets X-Files, so which is a lot of fun. Um, More nostalgic horror type stuff, but also again because a lot of it reflects on like childhood experiences. There's like some kids stuff involved, but yeah. Anyway, so that's interesting. But I am working on novels again, and I have one in the works. I don't know which one to pick first because I have a lot of ideas, but the one I'm leaning towards is a little bit different than what I'm used to doing, and it is a biblical retelling that is going to be like a dark romance. I use romance lightly because it's not about like a love story necessarily, but it's like people exploring their own identity through relationships. So it's a biblical retelling of a very specific part of the Bible, with feminist themes, darker themes, and formation of identity. Basically, it's like the overall message is like decentering men to like find yourself. So that's what I'm working on right now. The tentative title for it is Forbidden Fruit, if that gives it away. I don't know. If y'all don't have a religious background or religious Christian upbringing, I'm so sorry. This might like be a little over your head. I grew up Catholic, and as like a queer woman or queer person in the Catholic Church, you always have some sort of weird residue on you. So this is my way of working through that. That might be something interesting. So like as I'm actively writing that, I could read excerpts of it, of like how it's going. I was literally working on this today and like just wrote like 1,000 words of notes today. And I have a more pinpointed direction in terms of like voice and style I want to use, which is like a little bit different. But that's a project that I would love feedback on, right? Because it's been, let's see, my last novel was published in 2023. So that means I finished writing it probably in like 2022. So it's been a couple years since I've written a full length book again. Like I've mostly focused on like short story projects. So that would also be beneficial for me, right? Like if you're talking about making vlogs and then reading the book and like getting feedback from it, I think that'd be great too. And the question is that better as like a video series or as like a live stream thing? And then would that, if it is a live stream thing, would that conflict with some stuff in the writers buddies chats? You know what I mean? Because I don't want it to conflict with anybody else, but maybe the writers buddies chats are more for other people rather than myself. And then maybe like something like you're suggesting would be more of like a thing that could potentially be more beneficial for myself. I don't know. Throwing a lot of questions out there. Sorry for that. I'm literally just like, not info dumping, but I feel like I'm just like laying a lot out there for you guys. But it's great to think about this, and I'm so happy that people are giving like suggestions like that. Okay, I see we have a response for Wednesday in the group chat. Hang on, let me take my final bite of my donut, and I'll talk about this. Yeah, hang on a sec. Oh yeah. Okay, and some milk. Okay, I see we have a response for Wednesday. Thank you so much for that. Oh, hang on. Okay. Thank you. Can I read your comment out loud? Do you mind? I'm gonna do it anyway. um, I appreciate your content very much because you express yourself through it and do not imitate others. For you to reach 10K. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. It's okay. Thank you, friend. Appreciate it. Oh, I don't know why I did this. This was supposed to be peace signs. That wasn't shady in any way. I swear. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think there's definitely like ways you can gain traction on YouTube for sure. Especially like I'm just gonna say it, like not this isn't a YouTube specific thing because I see this on threads and like other platforms as well, where people will post like hot takes, but like not in a fun way. Oh, for you to reach 1K. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I think there's like a lot of people who post like hot takes, but not in a fun way, or like really sensational content to try to get traction online. And I've just never really felt comfortable with that personally. I'm again, I'm a Libra rising. Hey, hey. I'm not conflict avoidant in any means, but I don't believe in like disturbing your peace for no reason. And I don't know, I just can't be that kind of person, and that's why sometimes when I make those drama videos, like I'll do it if there's like a lesson to be learned from it, but just doing it for the sake of like getting views and stuff, like I don't know, sometimes that's like not the best. So I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. And I always try to come off as genuine and authentic, and I mean it. Like I want to be a tool and a resource for folks. Like I want to not only have you guys get to know me, but get to know my work, and I want to help other people find their own voices and just be able to celebrate their own work at the same time. So I really appreciate that. I'm just gonna say we have a vote for Wednesday. Thank you so much for that. I should probably add that if I were to do Writer Buddies live streams, that would probably be in the evening rather than in the morning. Unless you guys prefer morning live streams. Like, of course, like again, I am open to any sort of feedback whatsoever. But in my head, it would make sense for the evening because I know folks typically work 9 to 5. Um, and I don't want to interrupt anybody's like normal daily schedule. So that's why I thought in the afternoon or evening would be better to have Writers Buddy streams. But again, like if we do it on like a weekend or a Sunday, obviously that's like a little bit more flexible. But my schedule, like as I am now, since I write and I work from home, my schedule is pretty flexible. So that's a great thing. Like that's a beneficial thing for you guys so that we can like plan around that. But yeah, just like in the context of like voting and stuff, it'll probably, if it's during the week, probably be in the afternoon or evenings rather than the mornings. Just again to accommodate school schedules, work schedules, stuff like that. So just like a bit of context. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Sorry. I feel like I've been yapping so much. And this is all like new to me. So I appreciate you guys like sticking around and just being patient with me and yeah, oh my god, being patient with me and just being here and vibing. I appreciate that a lot. I'm gonna actually like switch to water now. Are you one of those people that has to have like multiple beverages? Because like I definitely am. Like I carry this thing around with me everywhere in the house. It's always by my side. I've become a big water advocate, especially as like I'm getting older. Because when I was young, like and young, I mean like early 20s, not even that, but like late teen and early 20s. I was like, why do people drink water? Water tastes so bad. Blah 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 blah. Nowadays, I'm like, I can't go like I cannot go an hour without drinking water. I really can't. And like that's probably why I feel so much better now, just as a human being in a body with physical experiences. Like I don't know, I just love having water. So so yes, also water is great for you just like health wise, but also like I know a lot of young people are conscious about like skincare and stuff like that. I'll tell you what, my skin now at 30 is so much better than my skin was as a young person. And I attribute that to water. So water has been great. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Okay, we have another vote for Sunday. Okay, thank you for whoever voted. I appreciate you. Yeah, I just this is like a tentative thing. Obviously, it depends on if people actually find this valuable and like want to sign up for it. Because if you do, even if it's just like one person, I'll accommodate your schedule and we can hop on here and do a co-working live and like I don't know, like ask questions, give suggestions, anything like that. Because I'm willing to like take feedback from you guys if you want. Like this isn't just like a one-way street. So yeah, I want to make it work for your guys' schedules too. Like I said, maybe I should do another poll. Is there a way I can do multiple polls at once? Or maybe I could just like, oh no, I have to like end it, huh? Yeah, I can only do one at a time. That's strange. But okay, maybe I'll keep this poll up probably for a little bit longer, or I can just ask this now if I remember what I was going to ask. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, sorry. That's sorry, my brain was like malfunctioning for a second. But yeah, if you would want this to be a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. Just in terms of level of commitment. I don't know if weekly feels like too much for some folks or if meeting bi-weekly would be better. So I'm going to leave this poll up for a little bit. Maybe I'll just like ask that as a general question in the chat. Let me do that. That way, if people pop in and out, they can see that, and I'll just ask a question. Wait. Sorry, try not to spell anything wrong in chat. There's like a lot of pressure. Live streams. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna help. Oh, thank you for a response, Duke of Denver weekly. Okay, that's fine with me. And of course, like if something comes up and because personal life or whatever, I can always move that to a different day. So like say something happens in a weekend that I have to be out of town or I don't know, if something happens, something weird happens, I'll always do my best to move it to a different day and I'll let you guys know. I'll give you guys a heads up if I can ahead of time that will be happening. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good to have that kind of like agreed upon commitment. And I really appreciate you guys giving me feedback about this. And I'm actually happy that people are interested. So that makes me very excited for that. Thank you. Yeah. I'm probably we've been here for almost 45 minutes. I'll probably still stay here for another 10, 15 minutes. But that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. Do you guys have any general questions for me? I can try this new feature. Hang on, I might do it. I don't know there's like this thing I can do that says start a Q&A, but like I don't know how that's different from people's comments. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I don't know. Ask me anything. Can I put an emoji in here? Oh my god, wait, why does it look like that? Okay. I know this is probably just for me. Oh, bizarre. I know it's probably just for me, but like all the chat just all went away and all I see are like the two like polls and questions. So that's bizarre. I don't know if I like that. Excuse me. Should I like get rid of this? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't like this. This will remove all. Sorry, my voice is going crazy. It says this will remove all questions in the question list. I don't really think there's a question list, so I'm just going to confirm. There you go. Oh, now I can see you guys again. Hello. Thank you for that. Okay, now I can see all my comments again. That was such a weird experience. Oh my god. Sorry. Again, if you guys weren't in the live stream at the very beginning where I explained that I cough a lot because I have asthma, and that's why I never do lives. It's because of that, because I always cough and I edit it out of my videos so I don't look like a sickly person. But the truth is, in fact, that I'm a somewhat sickly person. So I'm so sorry, you guys. But anyway, you have so many plushies. Yeah, I do. Okay, let's talk about the plushies. Oh, thank you for another question. Let me talk about plushies first, and then I'll answer the other question. So, this has been a hobby of mine since infancy. I don't know if you can see this little squirrel back here, but I literally had that. There's a picture of me literally as the infant slash toddler with the squirtle here. So this is like my favorite thing in the world. I've been collecting plushies for a very long time. My collection was mostly just Pokemon dolls because I am a huge Pokemon fan. I literally have 2 Pokemon tattoos on my body right now. It's kind of my thing. If you look around my office, there's Pokemon art. There's like a Snorlax neon sign there. There's Pokemon art on that wall. Pokemon is just everything to me, so that's why they're there. You might also see a lot of Squishmallows behind me. Now, I got really into Squishmallows during the pandemic, and I was easily influenced by this creator called Frocky Crossing, who makes Animal Crossing content, like gaming content, and she has like the biggest stuffed animal collection I've ever seen, and she collected a lot of Squishmallows. So I got into it because of her. I don't collect them anymore just because I don't really vibe with them as a brand anymore. I do like the soulless eyes. Like that's the part that I love the most. And they operate in a way like Beanie Babies where they each have a specific name and like personality. And I don't know what it is about that, but I'm a sucker for that thing stuff because like they would have like hobbies, they would have job descriptions. I think one of my Squishmallows is like a lawyer or something. Like that's crazy. So I like the personalization aspect of it, and that's why I thought it was fun. But like I said, I've stopped collecting Squishmallows just because they had certain political statements I didn't necessarily agree with, so I don't buy them anymore. But I also like am hesitant to get rid of all of them. I've contemplated donating them, but then all my shelves would look kind of empty, and I'd have to buy more plushies. So we'll see what I decide to do. But right now the Pokemon plushes are still my thing. Some of them are like handmade. Like, oh, this is all backwards. So this is a crocheted thing that my friend Emily made me for my birthday, and so I have little crocheted ones here too. They're all like really personal. But yeah, those are my plushie collections. I had another question here. I'll just ask in here, what's your favorite part of writing? Oh my gosh. I think it's hard to answer that. There's definitely parts that I like more than others. Editing is not my friend, but I do appreciate the like brutish parts of editing because they're necessary. But I think my favorite part of writing is like kind of putting together ideas, kind of like a freaky mad scientist. Excuse me. If you guys read my short stories, you'll probably understand that, where I like to take ideas and kind of mush them together. So for me, like an example, I have a short story that's about Tamagotchis, right? Like the little video game things that we used to have as kids. And I remembered like being a kid and being so attached to like my electronic toys, video game people, animals, stuff like that. And my sister was more relaxed about it than I was because she literally like killed her Tamagotchis like every 5 minutes. Um, but excuse me. But I remembered this like overall anxiety inducing thing about it. So I wanted to write about attachment, like anxious attachment as a child when you care about something that's not necessarily real. And then how the anxiety trickles into like friendships and stuff. Because again, I was like a lonely kid, and that's something I still struggle with. But I also wanted to make it a little bit supernatural and play with this idea of like sprites. and like a little bit of a mystical thing going on there. So taking something that's like very, very, very ordinary and making it supernatural is a lot of fun for me. And so that's what I've been doing for a while. And that's the part I like. I like putting together the combinations. And that's why I said it's kind of like Frankenstein-y, because I feel like I'm just putting body parts together and making this new thing. So I think that's like the ideation phase is always a lot of fun. That's probably always the most fun. It's where you can be really experimental and weird and try to mishmash stuff together. But again, I think most people would say that, and maybe some people struggle with that part at first, and then maybe they enjoy like the tacticalness of writing and editing. I also like trying to be funny or finding voice or trying to find characters that really stand out. And writing as somebody different than myself has been a lot of fun too. Not just like demographically, because that's always a thing. But I mean like personality wise, like people that are different from me. I love writing really confident. I tend to write very like anxious characters, but at the same time, I really like writing cocky, confident characters as well. So that's always fun too. You get to like role play in that way. I like a good RPG, so that's always fun too. I feel like I've rambled on for that one quite a bit. So I'm just gonna like move on to the next part, I think too. Yeah, editing is hell. I hate editing. Like, I don't hate it because editing is so necessary, and honestly, I spend just as much time editing as I do like writing. But sometimes it's a little disappointing when you read something in one, like the day you wrote it, you're like, man, this is genius. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then the next day you read it, you're like, what the hell was that? And then you have to get rid of everything. So I think editing also brings out certain emotions, and if you don't have experience really analyzing things like or analyzing yourself or learning how to like separate yourself from the art, that could be especially difficult for folks. And I was somebody who was very, very emotionally invested in like everything they did, so that was hard for me for a while. But yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you for answering. Well, thank you for asking that question. I appreciate that. What's my favorite Pokemon? Okay. I have two, and I have one of them somewhere way up there, but I'll just say it. My two favorite Pokemon, and I say two because they're always neck and neck. Is Quagsire and Beware. Those are my two favorite ones. Quagsire I love because I like its typing. I love water types, and I like that it's water ground, but also I just love the derpiness of it. Like Quagsire is like just me. If you've seen him in the show, again the soulless eyes, right? The black soulless eyes, right? That I love that, and Quagsire kind of has that. And then like Beware, I like because when I was a kid, one of my favorite animals was a red panda. It's inspired by a red panda. It's also like the pre-evolution is Stuffle. It's like a stuffed animal, so it's implied that it's a giant teddy bear that has like the potential to kill you if it hugs you too tightly. And again, it was someone with like an anxious attachment style that really speaks to me. You know what I mean? Sometimes we hold on a little too tight. So yeah, those two are my favorite Pokemon, Beware and Quagsire, and I would have to have them as a duo because I couldn't pick between the two. Also, you should do a 90s Frankenstein novel and call it Lisa Frankenstein. I would love that. There's actually a movie called Lisa Frankenstein. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really good, and it's a similar premise. I wouldn't say it's 90s. I think it leans more towards 80s in setting. But it's the girl that's in it that plays the main character is actually the girl from Detective Pikachu. So everything ties together, right? The girl who played the female protagonist in Detective Pikachu stars in Lisa Frankenstein, and it's like a B comedy. It's a horror comedy movie. Colt, is it Dylan or Cole? Cole Sprouse is actually in it too, and basically it takes place in the 80s. It takes place in Hawaii, and this girl is kind of off in general, and with peace and love, she's kind of off in general, and she basically brings this like dead guy back to life, and he needs to have new parts to keep him going. And so she chops up some people and like builds a boyfriend basically. And I love that subgenre. It's something I actually really want to do. This idea of like building a boyfriend. Um my one of my favorite songs is got it's yeah, is it called, or is it the band? It's guy.exe, like the file. They yeah, that's what the song's called. It's by Superfruit. That's one of my favorite songs, and it's literally about building your perfect man, your perfect boyfriend. So I would love to do a book like that, like building a boyfriend. I just don't know how to spin it in a way that's unique because of course we have Lisa Frankenstein now. And that you guys should really watch that movie if you're into like quote unquote girly horror. It's a lot of fun and it's silly and it's cute. Cole Sprouse does a good job being a zombie. So yeah, that one's a lot of fun. I think the only thing is though, if you are it's not done in a way that's poorly, but I'm just going to throw it out there. If there's one scene where this she's at a party and she drinks something and it's spiked and someone tries to take advantage of her, but they fail to do so, and then later on they get chopped up, so it's great. But I thought I would throw that out there for you in case you're sensitive to that, because I am too, so but I could handle it. So yeah, but I would love, again, the Lisa Frankenstein idea. I would love to do a 90s thing. I would love to do a build a boyfriend type story. I just don't have a good vehicle for that just yet, but one day. Another question. You mentioned Animal Crossing. Do you game and what do you play? Okay. Excuse me. I do, but I'm not like, okay, here's the thing. I play like a lot of cozy games, which I think are valid, but like a lot of people don't think that's valid. I play Animal Crossing. I've played like every Pokemon game in existence. I also like, there's this game called Cozy Grove that I really like. It's basically kind of like a resource management game, but with the animation style is really cool. And the whole point of it is helping these bears cross over to the other side, like they're ghosts, and you have to do quests for them, and then it helps resolve like whatever issues keeping them on the island. And you're like a Boy Scout / Girl Scout, and it's in the woods, and so that's what it is, Cozy Grove. Another game I like is called Ooblets. It kind of feels like Pokemon, but a little bit more colorful and zany. And there's like a farming mechanic to it, but they have battles, but they're dance battles, so it's not like violent or anything. So Ooblets is a good one. Yeah, I've played a lot of cozy games. I have Fields of Mysteria on my laptop, and I stopped playing because there wasn't an update on it. But now they have an update, so I really need to play it again. I also played like Stardew Valley, all that kind of stuff. Okay, as someone who plays a lot of Souls likes, cozy games are absolutely valid. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's like, okay, so I have a sister. I don't really talk about her a lot on my channel, but I have a sister, and we're not twins, but we're very close in age. We're like 20 months apart. And aesthetically, she's like the exact opposite of me. So we both are big horror fans, but my sister is very much like goth, like even in her appearance. Like she's got black hair, she's got a bunch of piercings, she's got a ton of tattoos, more than I do. And so she plays games that are a little bit more like horror. Like she plays Dead by Daylight, and she plays all these other games that like require more skill than I do. So I always feel weird saying like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer, but then I have like my sister here who's way more of a gamer than I am, like I think. And so sometimes it feels like weird for me to say that, but I know I'm valid. I know like cozy games are valid too. I just think they get a bad rep. And I also think that unfortunately people have been putting out a lot of lackluster cozy games recently. So it's kind of hard to be a cozy game fan right now because the capitalism has entered the chat, and they've been really releasing a lot of subpar games. And I don't know if that's across like every genre of games or if it's just a cozy game thing, but it's been kind of frustrating lately. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's my take on that. What are some of your favorite writing tropes? Ooh, okay. So like, okay, in terms of what I like to read, obviously I read a lot of horror because I write horror. But there's like some overarching tropes that no matter what it's in, I'll enjoy it. So the one that comes to mind is found family. I'm a sucker for found family, like 10 toes down. I think, and my first book series was very, very heavy found family vibes. And I think again that just speaks anybody who has like complicated relationships with their relatives, I think feels the same way. That's why even in anime, I'm a sucker for found family anime. Like I'm currently watching One Piece for the first time, and for me, One Piece very much feels like a found family type story. And I'm in the Alabaster arc right now. If you watch it, please do not spoil it for me. Please, because I know this is an old show and like everybody and their mama has watched One Piece. But yeah, so found family is a big one. I love that in like any sort of setting. When it comes to horror tropes specifically, I tend to lean more spooky than bloody. I'm not opposed to bloody, and I've read some pretty gory stuff before. I think my favorite like gory book is probably Manhunt. If you haven't read it, I think you should. It's like a post-apocalyptic world where the main characters are trans and like the zombies are like all basically men turn into zombies, right? They turn into like the zombie-like character. And the main characters are trans women, and so the way they have to take estrogen not only to reaffirm their gender identity but also literally to like prevent them from turning into like a monster. So it's about these trans women trying to navigate this space in this post-apocalyptic world, and like the women are fine, right? But there's like some women that are like allies to them, and then there's some that are, because of this like gender segregated society, form their own like cities and stuff, and they're leery about anybody who doesn't present in the same sort of way they do. It's very good. It's very like there's a lot of sex, consensual and non-consensual, just to throw that out there. But in terms of the writing, like it's great. So that's probably like the goriest thing I've read. But like horror tropes, I love a good unreliable narrator and a woman descending into madness. That I will support every day. I think it speaks a lot that women. I went to Fan Expo and they had a panel that was like these psychiatrists talking about diagnosing comic book characters, and the woman on the panel talked about how she thinks it's interesting, maybe not in the best way, where women are always painted as succumbing to madness and like that's their downfall, is that they can't emotionally handle whatever's going on. And she brought up Harley Quinn, but also the Scarlet Witch, and like how the loss of her children made her mad. But like, if that story was written through like a male character perspective, he might not have had the same sort of madness inflicted on him. Which, of course, like losing your children would be devastating. Like, you know, but it's just interesting that women are only framed that way. So I love that trope, but I can also be critical of it. And yeah, I'm always down for a good haunting. So yes. Found family always gets me. Me too. I girl, like because if you think about it, like really, really successful franchises are built off of found family. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mentioned One Piece. I think I was talking to my husband about this, and this might be like a problematic framing of One Piece, but like I was talking about how like, oh, this like pirate kid is collecting friends. I like that because it reminds me of Pokemon, because you also collect little friends, but they're just like animal friends and not like people friends. But I guess Ash kind of collects friends too, because he finds people to go with him on his little journey. But yeah, I connected the two in my head, and he was like Cassidy, like people aren't animals. There's a difference. Um, Daenerys as well was badly done. Yeah, okay, so I haven't watched all of Game of Thrones, but my husband has. I have enough context to kind of know what the series is about, but I haven't watched it. And yeah, yeah, I know she's like the mother of dragons, and again, they kind of typecast women into like motherly roles, which again is part of like a lot of women's lived experience. Like I'm not doubting that, but it's interesting how motherhood and madness kind of always like go like this, or like some relation to like either like sexual trauma or yeah, it's always and I just feel like it's that men don't get the same treatment. Now I would love to read and or see a man's descent into madness through parenthood as well. I just don't think it's as common of a thing to write about. So yeah. What's your favorite anime? Ooh. Okay, so Right now, I'm a big Apothecary's Diary stan. Um, I've been watching have I been watching it on Netflix or Crunchyroll? I know I'm behind technically, but I really like Apothecary Diaries. The same way it's it might not hold up. Maybe it's a little problematic right now, but I do love me some Oron Host Club. And I think I like those because the main characters are similar and the love interests are very similar. Um, I'm really enjoying One Piece right now. I also liked like the first anime that got me really into anime was actually Soul Eater, and I still really really like Soul Eater. It's a nostalgic watch for me. um, I'm just listing off ones I like. I'm sorry. So right now my favorite I would have to say is probably Apothecary Diaries, but that changes depending on what I'm currently watching. I also like Spy Family. I like I was gonna say, oh, Toilet Bound Hanakakun. I like that one too. I don't watch. I'll watch shonen, but I feel like shonen sometimes repeats itself, or it's like a little repetitive. I liked My Hero Academia. I'm technically behind on that one as well. I got to the Dark Midoriya arc, but I don't think I've gotten past that. My Hero was fun. I like the superhero gimmick. I think it's really accessible for like American viewers because we have such like a superhero culture. I'm trying to think of other shonens. I liked Demon Slayer, but I'm also behind on that. I just never finished shonens. I don't know. I feel like I have to have somebody watching with me to hold myself accountable. I will say no. I'm going to say Black Clover. I think is my favorite shonen. Like Black Clover was really, really, really good. If you haven't watched it, I think you should. And it's funny because I got the anime recommendation from Megan Thee Stallion. Hey, because she's a big fan of Black Clover, so I really like that one too. Male Descent to Madness from Losing Children. The only one I can think of is Prisoners 2015 with Hugh Jackman. Great movie. I have not seen that, but I'll put that on my list for sure. Because yeah, I think men have just as much emotional capacity to go mad from losing their children as women do, but for some reason we always put women in that position as opposed to men. But I will check that out. I feel like for men, and this really speaks to how we socialize men, right? I think for men, like their descent to madness is like revenge killing spree. I'm trying to think of like John Wick, right, with the dog, or I think that's the men's equivalent. And I don't know if that is accurate or if that's just because we encourage men to give into violence more, I guess, than we allow women to. I don't know, but that's a really interesting thing to like talk about and dissect. I think is the difference between those two for sure. Oh shoot, I'm like over time. I'm over time for what I wanted to talk about in this live stream. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I appreciate you guys like sticking around and stuff. What's your favorite of the Studio Ghibli films? Oh, I love Studio Ghibli. Okay. Um, okay. I have a couple different responses. This is a hard question. This is like picking a favorite child. I think for nostalgic reasons, and again, because I have a sister that's also close in age, I'm very partial to like My Neighbor Totoro. That's my sister's favorite movie. And as being an older sister who like actively took care of younger siblings, that one speaks to me quite a lot. But my first Studio Ghibli movie was Spirited Away. That one's very good. And I like Howl's Moving Castle a lot. But I think Porco Rosso's good. They're all good. Like they're just all good. Whisper of the Heart kind of reinvented my passions for writing. So if you're in a writing slump or if you're feeling like crap and you need to be like revitalized for writing, please watch Whisper of the Heart. The main character wants to be a writer, and at first she doesn't really like have a direction in life where she feels like she doesn't, and then like the whole movie's basically about her finding her passions, and she's inspired by this other young man who knows what he wants to do, and so it's really sweet. So again, if you need spark to get into writing again, I would watch Whisper of the Heart. But yeah, I still think I would probably say if I had to pick a favorite, um oh, but Princess Mononoke is so good. Okay, no, if I had to pick, let me pick a top three. I think my top three are Princess Mononoke, Totoro for nostalgia, and then Howl's Moving Castle because that's the one I tend to rewatch the most. I like Ponyo too, but but I think those are my top three. Totoro, Princess Mononoke, and then Howl's Moving Castle because I tend to rewatch that one. I'll definitely check that out. Yes, please do. I've watched a lot of Studio Ghibli movies. I have not yet watched Graves of Fireflies because I feel like that's going to wreck me. Like I'm a very emotional person and I cry a lot. I'll cry at Wally. So I don't think I can emotionally handle a film like Graves of Fireflies. Um, but if there's one day where I feel like I need a good cry, I'll probably bite the bullet and put that one on. But yeah. Goodness gracious. Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'm losing my voice. So I think I'm going to turn it in for now. I just want to say thank you guys so much for hopping into my first live stream. I was so nervous that nobody was going to show up, so I appreciate you guys that did. I really do. I'll let you guys know if I decide to live stream again. But yeah, this is just my first one ever, and I just wanted to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so. If you haven't subscribed and you're interested, please feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate every one of you that sat down and talked to me today. It was amazing. And yeah, I'll let you know when I'm going to stream again and we can hang out again soon. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye. Now let me figure out what button to push. Yay.